Okay. Yeah, the subject of this interview is Gloria Lafferty.
I'm Gloria Lafferty, but my name before I got married was very long. Maria de Los Angeles Gloria Aguirre Sartuche. The Aguirre name was my father and Sartuche was my mother. The Aguirre name came from Spain. We was a Basque, and Sartuche, that was my grandfather, he was French. So I have that name before I got married. I got married in 1951, and I became Gloria Lafferty. They take away every name. In the United States, they just call it Mrs. Lafferty, and I don't like it because I'm Gloria. Everybody called me Gloria, so everybody knows me for Gloria. And when I came to this country, it was very hard for me to leave my family in Mexico. The only reason I came to United States is because I married Russell Lafferty, that he was born here in Little Rock, and that's the reason I came to live here. But we went to Europe before we came here. I was in Paris for a week where Russell was looking for a job in London as a reporter. And when he find a job, he can get me. But before that, before we went to Europe, we went to Richmond, Virginia to see my husband's sister, Sissy Lafferty. And we stayed there for a while, and her children come up with the chicken pox. So when we was on the boat to go to Europe, my younger son, my older son, he was about 10 months old, and he came up with the chicken pox. So when Russell went to London and left me in Paris, little Russell was with chicken pox, and I can go anywhere. But I see in the window the towel, Eiffel towel, and I stay in the hotel for a whole week, and I eat a soup, and I give soup to my kid because it's the only thing I learned in French how to say soup, and I forget now. But we all eat
So
soup
a whole week eating soup and eggs.
Soup and eggs for a whole week. And then, bless the Lord, Russell come back. And made me think, were you young? I was 19 years old, and that was 20 because I married when I was 19, and I was 20 when I had Russell. So I was 20, and I was not scared or anything. We can do everything when you're young. But now that I'm old, I start thinking, if something happened to Russell and never come back, I was going to stay in Paris and not speak any French.
And eat soup and eggs.
That was a tragedy if something happened to Russell. But I was so glad that he came back.
Yeah.
And then he found a job in London, so we moved to London.
So tell us about meeting Russell. Where did you meet? Where did you meet? In Mexico?
In Mexico City. But
You were 19?
I was working in the curio shop, and he was looking for a linen handkerchief.
A handkerchief? A linen handkerchief.
Linen handkerchief. And he come back, and
To see you? Or did he look for a handkerchief?
well, he can keep coming back, and he wants me to be his girlfriend. But he was older than me, about 9 years older, 9.5 years older, and I didn't trust him. And I keep saying, no, forget it. And I moved from that store to another one in the same place, but a few blocks away from that store. And he keep coming. When I left the store and moved to another job, he decided to come back to the United States. But one day he was walking on the street and he found me again. And then
In Mexico City, or?
in Mexico City,
Mm.
he asked one of my friends, what I do? So Gloria said yes to me. And said, you have to be very romantic and bring him flowers. And he started bringing me flowers.
What kind of
then-
flowers did he bring you?
In the store where I work, he came up with a big bouquet of flowers,
Gladiolas?
gladiolas. And then he said that he wants to marry me. But he said that in Mexico, casarse, the word casarse, para decir me quiero casar, I will marry you, you're supposed to say, yo quiero casarme contigo. But he said to me, yo quiero casarle, which means with a gun, you know. And I start laughing. I start laughing. But well, I said yes, and we was going for 6 months. After 6 months, we got married, and it was a beautiful wedding in a Catholic church. And I always think it was very good that he was a Catholic,
Mm.
because he came from the United States, and I realize now that not everybody is Catholic. So I was very lucky that he was a Catholic man, and we married a Catholic church. When after that I said, I had my first baby when I was 20.
In Mexico, right?
Uh-huh.
And that's Russell?
11 months after I got married.
Mm-hmm.
And then we start coming to, like I said, we came to Little Rock first, then we went to Richmond, Virginia, visit all the family, and then we went to Europe. We went to New York and get in the boat, and it was a big ship, a French ship, very nice. There was a whole week in the boat.
To get to
Yeah.
Europe from the States?
We
Wow.
get to French, and there was
Oh.
Le Havre, that was the name of the place where we got, and then we take the train to go to Paris, and then he left me in Paris and go to London. Then after he find a job in London, we moved to London, and we lived there for about maybe 8 or 9 months, because I was 7 months pregnant with Philip, where we went to live in Barcelona, Spain. But before that, Russell, by the time there was the coronation of Queen Elizabeth, he write the article about, he was working for the newspaper, and we went to see the Queen in London.
And that was his job, to cover the inauguration. Yeah?
So we went early in the morning with my baby. We was waiting in the street. All the people, there were some people that sleeping in the street just to see the Queen come by. And she came so fast, she went to say hi to everybody, and it was going. And some people spent all night to see that.
Right.
So that was very interesting to be there. And then we moved to Barcelona.
Okay, I'm going to pause for just one moment. Okay, so tell me about going to Madrid from London.
No, we went from London to Barcelona.
Oh, Barcelona.
And Philip was born in Barcelona.
Mm-hmm.
It was a very pretty city. I enjoyed it. It was beautiful. And
Is that where you learned to play guitar? Or you had already learned to play guitar?
well, we learned to play the guitar in Madrid,
Oh.
where we moved to Madrid.
Mm-hmm.
And we have a very nice teacher. They used to play very good the guitar. But he said he cannot be to play the concerts because he get nervous.
Mm-hmm.
But he plays in a little parties for few people.
Mm-hmm.
And he teaches flamenco and classic. Russell's guitar was classic and mine was flamenco guitar.
Mm-hmm.
He gave it to me for my birthday.
Is it this
So-
guitar here?
Is that guitar that
Oh,
I showed you?
really?
Yeah.
This is
Is
the one
it
that
the
you got in
best?
Spain?
They're the best guitars in Madrid.
This is yours?
Mm.
Mm.
Yeah.
Not
But
material.
I learned how to play little bitty, and I used to play the little bitty flamenco and little bitty songs.
Mm-hmm.
But I quit doing it a long time ago, so I'm not playing the guitar anymore.
Right.
But mostly I want to learn play the guitar to sing,
Mm-hmm.
because I used to love to sing. I know a lot of many songs, country songs, Mexican country,
Mm-hmm.
or Spanish songs,
Mm-hmm.
and all kind of songs.
Would you share one with us? Would you sing a little one?
No, I can't sing
No.
anymore. But I used to do it. I used to have a very high voice,
Mm-hmm.
and I sing for a choir
Mm-hmm.
for 30 years. I guess I sing for the choir.
Mm-hmm. Awesome.
But anyway, I miss to do that.
Yeah. So Barcelona was beautiful though? And how long did you live in Barcelona?
In Barcelona, we maybe was a few months.
Mm.
I think maybe 6 months or so.
Was Russell still working for the paper or?
No,
No. Mm-hmm.
he wasn't working then. So for Barcelona, we moved to Madrid.
Mm-hmm.
In Madrid is where we have the teacher teach us Spanish.
Mm-hmm.
But I got pregnant and the guitar went up and up, and I can't take lessons anymore.
Uh-huh.
And Michael was born in Barcelona.
Mike was born in Barcelona.
No, Michael was born in Madrid. I made a mistake. Philip in Barcelona, Michael in Madrid. And Madrid was a beautiful place. I really enjoy it because in London, I have very hard to speak English.
Mm-hmm.
And Russell worked all day, come in the night, and he decided he was going to speak English to me, so I learned. And I don't have anybody to speak Spanish except my baby.
Mhm.
Russell was 1 year old in London, and I only talked to him in Spanish. And one day I get real angry with Russell, and I say, I want to come back to Mexico. I am tired of speaking English. I want to go back to my country. And I was mad at him because he speaks English to me. And I said, nobody speaks Spanish to me, and you come here. I'm all day by myself with a baby. You come here and speak English. I don't want you to do that. So he started speaking Spanish to me again. So, but it was a beautiful trip to be there, to go to London and move to Barcelona and then to Madrid. I enjoyed all that time. It was nice.
Did you do some dancing there?
And then we come back to United States. I come back in the airplane, and Russell come, and I think he came in the boat to London. Well, we came separately, but we're supposed to get together in Richmond, Virginia. And Russell's brother-in-law, John Byrne came to get us
Mm-hmm.
in the airport. And I have 3 children by then. There was Russell, Philip, and Michael. And we have a real nice time in Richmond, Virginia.
And
My
you stayed
sister-
there for a couple months or?
I don't remember how long, but we stayed maybe a month or so.
Mm-hmm.
Until then Russell buy a new car, Chevrolet. There was a green color in 1956. And we back to Mexico in 1956. And then I have Victor, and was born in 1954. And
And he was born in Mexico.
he started talking real early. He was only 2 years old. And he heard Russell and Philip talking about Spain. And Philip said, when I grow up, I'm going to Barcelona. And Russell said, no, when I be 20, I want to go to the United States to see my daddy's country. And anyway, they always talk about Spain. And Michael said, Mother, I'm so glad you come back to Mexico. I was going to be born all by myself here in Mexico. And it was so funny. And Michael said, well, when I grow up, I want to go to Tacuba. Tacuba was very close to the house we live in Mexico,
Cuba, Grandma?
about half an hour from my house. And he said, when I be 80 years old, I'm going to go to Tacuba. And we start laughing because it was only,
What's that?
that's where we used to go shopping, only half hour away from home. And he said he went away until he was 80. But he was a little kid. He was very young too. So there was a funny things. The children say funny things, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Well, then after we decided to come back to the United States in 1960, and my husband came first and told me he was going to looking for a place for us to stay, but he wrote me and said to come to Little Rock and to get coats, and because it's very cold here and in Mexico it's like a spring, it's never that cold. So I buy the red jackets to all the kids and red hats. And that was a good idea because I was afraid in the airport, it's so big, Atlanta, and I was afraid to lose a child. And Victor was a baby. I had to push it in the little car because he can't walk yet.
Mm-hmm.
And Peggy, my sister-in-law, came to get us in the airport. He said it was so funny to see us come out of the airplane, all the children with the red jackets and red hats. Yeah. And we live in Aunt Peggy's house until we find a house. He was
Here in Little
very
Rock.
nice.
In Little Rock, yeah.
Here in Little Rock, yeah. And she was trying to understand me. I speak very little English, and it was hard on her for me to. And then she bring me to a party, and there was a lot of ladies. There was a nice party, but when they talk, everybody talk at the same time, and I can't understand what they say, and I get sleepy. And I was born like that, you know. And I feel shame because I can't help it, you know. I get so sleepy, and that happened because because it was hard to understand. Everybody talking, and I didn't understand a thing.
And there weren't as many people who spoke Spanish here then.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
There were nobody speak Spanish there.
Mm-hmm.
But Peggy was very nice. She was very patient to me to understand what I said. And the way I speak English like an English person. Because, well, I learned in Mexico, I went to school to learn English. And I know the alphabet, the grammar, the verbs. But my teacher was a Mexican, so they has Mexican accent. So when I come here, nobody understands what I say. And when I live in London, the little bit of English I speak with an English accent. So I came here to the United States in 1960, and nobody understands what I say either.
Mm-hmm.
I have a hard time, and I started, and then I say, I used to not to talk much, just to listen. I was able to understand everything because my husband always has friends that speak English, and I understand what they say, but I was afraid to make a mistake, so I keep quiet. And one day I told, well, the American people, when they start speak Spanish, oh boy, they make a lot of mistakes. Edith Russell, they went to college, Mexico City College. He used to speak very good Spanish, it's true. But he said, instead of cufflinks, he said, ¿Dónde están mis mangueras? In Spanish, cufflinks is mancuernas. And he said mangueras. And he making mistakes, you know. But it's normal because I've been in this country so long and I still make mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
So I decided to speak anyway they come out.
Mm-hmm.
So I started doing it. So, but it was very hard because Russell go to work, my children go to school, I stay by myself. So what I did is watch TV in English. There was no TV in Spanish, I don't have a choice. But it was very good to listen to the soap operas in English. And one time, I was watching As the World Turned, and they said, a special bulletin. President Kennedy was shot, and they have a special report about that. And I understand what they say, and I get very upset. And they said they took it to the hospital, and he died. And when my husband came for work, I told him what happened, and he don't believe me. He said, "Gloria, you don't understand English. That don't really happen. That is impossible." I said it to him in Spanish because he used to speak Spanish with me, and I said, "Yes, that's what happened."
Wow.
And I remember that. And with the years, I started speak more and more. And then my children start speaking English with me. First, Russell and Michael, they all used to speak Spanish when they come here. But then when they start going to school, they learn English. They don't speak Spanish with me. So I start speaking English with them. And that's it.
Tell me more about your family in Mexico, your parents and your siblings. Or your family in Mexico.
Yeah.
Just a little about your mother and father. Or...
Well, when I left, when I was in Mexico, my mother died. My mother died in 1958, the same year that my son Victor was born. So that was kind of very sad. And Victor was born at 4th of July, and my mother died the 29th, I think, of the same month. But I feel very bad because one time when my mother was very sick, we have a family reunion picnic, and my grandmother was going, all my cousins, and my children and my sister's children, everybody was going to celebrate Mother's Day. But my mother, we told my mother was going to go with us, and then she said, "I'm not going to be able to go because I feel very sick." And I always feel bad because it was the last Mother's Day that I spent with my mother. She wasn't with us in the picnic party that we had. But I was in Mexico until she died. Then Victor was born. And then I had to say goodbye to my grandmother when I came to live here. And she was very, very old. She was close to 100 years old. And I always loved my grandmother very much. I was very close to her.
What was she like?
She was a very, very white complexion and had blue eyes. And she knows a lot of praise. She teach me how to pray, a lot of old-fashioned prayer.
Could you share the prayer for the new day? You told me a prayer in Spanish that she taught you that was really beautiful. Would you share that?
Well, I can.
You can say it in Spanish and then just explain what it means.
Well, she teach me el nuevo día. Dice, every morning we pray that, en este nuevo día, gracias te tributamos, oh Dios omnipotente, oh Señor de lo creado, tu divina clemencia se ha dignado sacarnos del horror de la noche a la luz del sol claro. El mundo y cuanto existe es obra de tu mano. Por ti nacen las flores y reverdece el prado. Los árboles dan frutos, el sol nos da sus rayos. Dirige Dios inmenso y guía nuestros pasos para que eternamente tu santa ley sigamos. It was a beautiful, I don't know how to say it in English, but it was a beautiful prayer. And she teach me poetry too.
Oh, it was just for thank you for this, thank you for that, for the day. Yeah. And she taught you what?
Teach me poetry. She used to have a cousin that was write poetry. Was a very famous Gustavo Aguirre.
Your grandmother's cousin?
He was he writes poetry. I guess that's what my grandmother knows so much poetry. But
Many poets in the family.
so I learned some of the poetry. She teach all of the grandchildren. We know that poetry they used to teach us. She teach catechism, as we learn for her too. We live in the country sometime, and she teach the children of the people that work for my uncle in the ranch. They have catechism for my grandmother. So I listen to it.
And did she teach you songs too? Or just poems?
She don't used to sing much, but she used to know poetry a lot.
When did you start singing? Why did you start singing?
I started singing since I was a very young person.
Yeah.
One time I was singing in my house and someone knocking on the door. And I opened the door and said, "Is your mother home?" And I thought, "She's not home." And she said, "You lying, your mother was singing." And it was me that was singing. And I was very young, so they don't believe that I was the one that was singing. Yeah, and I always like to sing. And I sing Mexican country songs and classic songs, all kind of songs. Tangos for Argentina.
And did you dance too? Do you like dancing?
Yeah, I used to dance. No, my sister was better dancing than me. She used to dance with my husband, boogie woogie.
Oh yeah?
She and Peggy danced boogie woogie. I was not that good. I was better in singing, and my sister was better in dancing. She was a very good dancer. So we have a...
So boogie woogie dancing. What other kinds of dancing did you do? Didn't you do? Is there flamenco dancing or?
Well, before I got married, I danced. Russell was very good dancer.
Which kinds of dancing?
We danced the mambo.
Ah, mambo.
That's what I danced mambo in the boat that I was telling you.
You danced mambo on the boat?
The people watching us go around, make a round like that.
Make a circle around you?
And watching us. And I was very
on
young.
The boat?
In the boat, when we was going to Europe.
Oh.
And
they never saw anyone dance like that?
No, because in Mexico everybody was dancing mambo. They come from Cuba. Perez Prado was a Cuban. He bring that way to dance to Mexico, and every young people was dancing that. So I know how to dance it. Russell knows how to dance it very good. And we dance, and after we finished, they was clapping, you know. And I get all red. I was all...
Were you embarrassed?
I didn't expect it. People be watching me and clapped like that. So that was fun.
That's good.
We live a good life. And
so what was life like in Little Rock when you got here?
It was nice. My husband's family was always nice to me. Dodo, you know Dodo Lafferty, Rose Lafferty? She was like my second mother to me. She was very nice to us. She never got married, so she loved my children. And we love her very much. And
Dodo?
Dodo, you never heard the name Dodo?
I've heard that name before, yeah. I don't know much about her though. So she never got married? So
she never got married. She was the uncle's, we call it uncle, Monsignor Lafferty, everybody call it uncle. And it was his sister, and Meme and Dodo. They was very nice, and Peggy was very nice to me, and my mother-in-law, she was nice too. Well.
So your husband, Russell, had lots of family here.
He has a lot of family, and I feel good about the family. They accept me, and was nice to me. So I feel good living in here. And I already been here for 52 years. I can't believe it. We live in North Ashford, and we moved here. We buy this house for 42 years ago. And we are still living here.
This house right here?
Yeah. I live here. And it was different, but in Mexico, people is more happy. Mexican people make parties about everything and sing and dance and everything. Here the people is nice. They make parties, they may be happy, but it's different. Uh-huh.
Yeah, there's not as much celebration. Yeah.
The celebrations are like the weddings in Mexico. They sometimes I didn't do it because we have a party and then we went to Acapulco. But some keep on going for 3 days celebrating.
3-day weddings.
The wedding. And the little village they do that more than in Mexico City. Yeah, when I live in my uncle's farm, we went to a wedding, and they have all kind of food for a bunch of people. For 3 days you can go and enjoy it. I never see anything like that because in Mexico City maybe it's not that much. They celebrated the day, big dinner for everybody, you know. But it was, I get used to the United States. I love Little Rock. It's very nice. I mean, the weather is very different. And when it gets too cold, I don't like it, or too hot either, but I get used to. But because in Mexico, I don't know now, but the weather was beautiful when I lived there, you know. Another thing, I remember, I used to see, in Mexico City, I used to see the stars all bright in the sky. Maybe because it's high in Mexico and it's more close to heaven, to the sky, I mean, that you can see the stars so bright. I don't know now because of pollution, maybe there's not be that right now like that. But when I was a young lady, there was a beautiful big stars, you know. And now I look in the window and I don't see one star that bright, sometimes. The other ones I hardly can see them, you know. So I don't know what is it. I thought maybe it was my eyes and I can see very good. But I asked somebody else, do you see the stars? I don't see any stars. Well, you know the stars are there because God put it in there and they're not going, but they're there. But the problem is they don't look so clear and beautiful like they used to when I was a young girl.
Well, and Little Rock is different too because now there's more Mexican people here, and so you go to Spanish Mass and you teach now, right?
Yeah.
Down at the teach a catechism.
I teach catechism to the Mexican American children or Mexican children, but the funny thing is that they know how to read in English better than Spanish because they go to school in Spanish, in English, and they speak Spanish with their parents. I think it's a good idea for them to learn both languages. That be my son Russell still speak very good Spanish, and my son Victor used to go to ULR and learn more Spanish, and he used to teach. He became a Spanish teacher, and he used to go to Mexico all the time. He loves to go. But he came here when he was only 2 years old, but he was always interested in learning Spanish. And when Stephen was born here in the United States, and Philip was kind of young, and Michael speaks Spanish longer than the others. It took him more time to learn English. Well, he had a problem. He has epilepsy, you know. He has a problem to learn because of the epilepsy. But he used to speak more Spanish than English. But when he learned English, then he don't want to speak Spanish. So it's kind of, I told the children I teach, then it's good to learn English because they live in this country, but it's good to learn Spanish too. If they can keep up with the two languages, they'll be fine. They'll be the best bit to do. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Where's your wedding picture? That's what I want to see. So you didn't have a 3-day wedding? It wasn't 3 days?
No, but it was a big wedding, and then we went to Acapulco for a honeymoon Oh, Acapulco is a beautiful place.
Is that you up there?
Yeah.
There we go. There we go.
And that's my
And
daddy's
there's a big
mother.
wedding picture too.
My daddy's mother wedding.
Right here.
And my father when he was a baby.
Oh.
There was my grandfather. He was in the army. He was a general.
Oh, what was his name?
And he was a doctor too.
Dr. General.
And there's my grandmother with my two aunts, and my great grandmother, and my grandfather, and my great grandmother, that one over there.
The one up top? Awesome. Oh, and there's Gabe. Yeah, there's everybody. There's Keely.
And this here is my, let's see, and I don't be in the way, so I show it. That was my grandfather, my daddy's daddy. The same in the other picture, but
The general.
with the very special uniform, the gala, they call it the gala, the
Yeah.
fancy uniform. It's the same kind of uniform the President Porfirio Diaz used to wear in Mexico. And they said it looks like, because they took a picture very similar to that one. And he was a medical military, and he had some decorations for the army. And this he is the same man with my grandmother. And this is my grandfather, my father, my aunt, my uncle Agustin, my uncle Joaquin, my aunt Carlota. And she's my auntie Lita. And the name of my grandmother was Domitila, and the name of my grandfather was Agustin. And this is my husband. When I don't know him by then, is where he went to the army, and he was very young when he went to the army. I think he was 17 years old when he went to the army.
And where did he go? Wasn't he in?
To the Second War. The Second War. He told me he was in Germany, fighting in Germany.
Oh, really?
In the Second War, yeah. So, and that's the Mexico City College, where he went to college in Mexico. Mexico City College.
Oh, really? That's where he was when he met you?
Yeah. And the way.
Wasn't he also in the Aleutian Islands, or
Yeah, I don't know.
with the National Guard, or?
Yeah. Well, I don't know.
Maybe.
I don't know much of before he married me, but he worked for the newspaper in New York, I know that. And then he went to Mexico and find me. Well, that's Victor. And he went to University Arkansas Little Rock. And he was a Spanish teacher. And they give it that reward. The Spanish people give it to him because he helped a lot of people. Arkansas Alma Award, yeah. They present that. Latin John of Arkansas.
Oh. What about that picture in there, the big one about in the other room of all your family, with your grandmother in it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So many.
You can see it good. Maybe that way because the sun is good. Well,
Then there's a glare. Here we go. That's good.
Then my grandmother, my mother, my daddy, his name was Carlos. And that's my brother Carlitos, the youngest, and my sister Blanca Luz. There's my uncle Alberto, my aunt Malenita. She was pregnant with Panchito, and she also had Luisito. There was the second wife of my uncle because he was married to my sister, to my mother's sister, and he had Chavela. Armando was the older, then Chavela, Beto, Miguel, Eva, their brothers. But she died, and then he married again to Malenita, and have Luisito and Panchito. And then that's my mother's cousin, Emma, was the mother of the movie actress Elsa Aguirre and Alma Rosa Aguirre. These two was a movie actress. They make a lot of good movies, Mexican movies. And there was a sister of them. They was very good friend with my cousin Chavela. That was the wedding that she married Eduardo.
And where are you? I can see you. Where are you? Point out where you are. Where's Gloria?
There he is, Gloria. I was about, how old I was? Very young, about 13 years old. Yeah.
Wow. ¿Qué más? Do you have the magazine with the movie actress in it? You could see that.
Yeah.
Oh, Stephen gave you that, right? The Our Lady of Guadalupe?
Oh, I want you to take a picture of the Secret Heart of Jesus. There was one like that in my house when I was a little girl. And Victor found that that one in the antique shop. And he got it for me. And I love it because it's the same one I have in my house.
Oh, it's the
when
same.
I was a little girl.
Wow. That's
So
really nice.
I love it.
It's beautiful.
Oh, and Meme gave me that one. You know,
Meme?
uncle's sister, Meme, Dodo's sister.
Mm-hmm. She gave you the one below?
She gave me that one, so I love it too. Yeah. I don't know what else can I say.
So many treasures.
Oh, this picture.
Could show your dollhouses.
That's a good picture of all of us.
Oh, yeah.
There was in Aunt Peggy's house. There was Christmas Day where they took that picture in Peggy's house in Beechwood.
Nice. And this is the whole family.
And this one is the only picture I think they have the whole family is on.
You want to point out who everybody is?
Oh, yeah. That's Russell, when he was in the army, my son Russell. That's Philip, Michael, Victor, Stephen, and Emily.
And you and Russell.
And that's Russell and me.
Beautiful.
Oh, that's another good picture of my children. I love that one. That's Russell. It's called Emily. And there's a doggy named Andy. Somebody gave it to Victor, a little puppy. And he stayed with us for about 14 years. He died, he was very old. And then it's Philip, Michael, Victor, and Stephen.
Beautiful. And where did you get this? The lights? Where did you get that? These?
Oh, I got that in the store, but I used to work in the gift store.
Nice.
I used to work in the gift store. And it looks Spanish, so I like it.
And you collect miniatures, right?
Yeah.
Everything miniature. So beautiful. And would you share something about Our Lady of Guadalupe? Because it's so important in your life, or...
It's over there.
Yeah.
Oh, I have one in my room. It was my mother's. You want to come over?
Yeah, I'd love to. Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't have a very good memory anymore, but
I think you have a great memory.
mhm.
Oops. Oh, more great pictures.
Okay.
See.
Stephen painted this one.
Oh.
It's the Holy Spirit
Oh, really?
and a piano and the stairs.
Beautiful. Stephen do that one too?
He painted that one, right? But it's Russell, but I think that don't come up. No, don't look exactly like him. So, this Lady of Guadalupe, they used to be in my mother's room. So it was very dear, precious to me. And there was in my mother's room where she died, and there was in this room where Emily died. So it's very nice. I love it.
It's yeah. Well, tell me about Our Lady of Guadalupe. We don't know about it here.
No?
Always.
Well, she appeared to the Indian Juan Diego.
Mm-hmm.
It was almost 500 years ago. And I can tell you the story. Let's see if I can.
No, you don't have to tell the whole story.
Yeah.
It just seems to be powerful.
Well, see, in that time, the Spanish came to try to convert the Indians to the Catholic faith, and some Indians don't believe in the Catholic Church, and I think that mostly there was Franciscans, the priests, that come
Mm-hmm.
to teach the Indians the faith, and Juan Diego was one that convert to Catholic. He was Catholic, so he was walking in the mountain, and suddenly he heard a beautiful bird singing, and he stopped and see Our Lady of Guadalupe, Virgin Mary, come down from heaven and appeared to him. And well, she told him that she wanted to people have a church in that place, and she be the mother of all the Mexicans and helping and love them. So he went to tell the bishop, but the bishop don't believe him, and they make a wait long time before he talked to the bishop, and then there was a second time, and the same happened. He see the lady, and one time his uncle was very sick, and he was going to go to church to call a priest to come and see his uncle, but she tried to skip the lady. She tried not to go up, so go around the mountain instead of going to the top, and Our Lady Guadalupe appeared to him down there and told him, "Don't worry about your uncle. He is going to be okay. I'm going to take care of him." So Our Lady of Guadalupe appeared to the uncle and make it well. And then he went to the bishop again, and they don't believe it. And he said, you tell the lady that she has to give you a proof. And they said, okay, I'm going to try. And he went and tell Our Lady Guadalupe. The bishop asked for a proof. So he went up and he said, go up there and look for flowers and pick it up. And it was in winter time. There were not supposed to be any flowers. So he found a beautiful roses, and he put it in his clothing, they call it huipil. It's an Indian work. But it's something that you go through your head and go down and up and down. And he put it in there and fold it like that, hold it. And he bring it to the bishop. And he said, I bring the proof. And he said, let me see it. And he went down like that, and flowers fall in the floor. And imagine the Virgin Mary appear in the clothes. And that's the one they have in the altar in the Basilica of Guadalupe. This is a copy of that one.
That is the image that was on.
Yeah.
That is the image.
And that was blessed, but when my mother got it, was blessed by the bishop that was there. I don't remember the name right now. But it's blessed. And it was my mother, so it's very dear to me. Mm-hmm.
Beautiful, thank you.
And we all, here in Little Rock, they celebrate in a big way. Now they have it. When I come here...
For Our Lady of Guadalupe on that day.
That you win. Remember you win?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, with the drums.
But they do that every year.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
And there's people make pilgrimage and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's a very beautiful mass. And when I came here, there was no Spanish mass. It was only English.
Mm-hmm.
I used to go to church in English, which is good because I learn. But when I start singing, I say, well, I cannot sing in English because I made mistakes. I better go sing in Spanish. So I sing for many years in Spanish to the church. And I enjoy to go to Mass in Spanish. But I can go in English if I have to, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
tell me, did you ever dance with President Clinton?
Oh, yeah. Well, let's see if I can tell you. He was going to be government. They were supposed to vote for him to be a government, and they have a party in the river. And I was with a group, Alma. There was for the Lululac, have that group of people, they sing and they sing in the churches, on the parties. They give money for scholarship for Mexican Americans. So I was in the river that time, and I used to dance and sing. I used to love that. And we was dancing, and they asked the Clinton to come and dance with us. So he danced cha-cha-cha. My friend Patricia Hamilton, she is a Spanish teacher, very good friend. She was in the front, and the president, well, he wasn't president. I mean,
It was before, right?
he left. His little girl was very little girl. He was holding her little girl, give it to his wife, and come up and dance with us. And he was in the middle, Patricia in the front, he in the middle, and I was in the back. And we was dancing cha-cha-cha. So I never told that he was going to become a president. So if I go to Mexico and I say, I dance with the president, nobody's going to believe it. But he became a government. He was not even government yet. But it is something that happens sometimes. You go, something to remember. Yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
Anything else you'd like to show or share? So many things.
I don't know.
Mm.
Oh, Stephen made that one.
Oh.
Because we became Franciscans, and there's the Franciscan cross.
Oh. So you're part of the Franciscan order, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They wear it for. I have my cross. I wear it.
Oh. And who's this?
That's Monsignor Lafferty,
Oh.
Dodo and Meme's brother.
I've never seen a picture of him.
Oh, it's no light in here.
Mm.
It's messed up. The light is messed up. It don't work.
Mm.
Mhm. Okay, I guess that's
Beautiful, yeah. Yeah. Well, thank you.
See, I collect miniatures everywhere.
Yeah.
I stopped. I don't collect miniatures anymore.
You have enough?
I have enough, yeah.
Look at all those.
And the Dolly's houses.
We've had many years to collect them. Here's some good photos here.
This is one I took to Peggy's birthday, remember?
Oh, yeah. Well, there's Peggy. Is this another picture of your wedding?
Yeah. And I went to...
Oh, that's the big one. I was looking for that one.
See, there's Peggy here. Peggy and my sister, my niece. My mama, my grandmother. Now my dad is in the back and he was in the front first.
That's nice.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and there's Stephen, huh?
That's all my grandchildren. Here's Patrick and Aaron, Christopher and Michael.
And there's another nice wedding one down there. That's
I
great.
thought I put a picture when I was young and Peggy was young too.
Oh, there it is. Yeah, you're on the other side here. Ooh, that's a nice one. Yeah, I can see it from down here. Oh, stunning. Oh, can you show the magazine with your movie star?
Oh, yeah.
Make it. Got it. There's Patrick.
This is my great-grandmother and my grandmother on the other side.
Whoa. Great-grandmother. And your mother?
My grandmother.
Oh, your grandmother. Oh, wow.
My dad is that mother.
I can barely see it.
And that was when I became a Franciscan. They gave me
Oh.
that.
Mm-hmm.
What I was going to show you?
The magazine,
Oh,
if it's close by.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Where's that lady again? Oh, she's on the cover. So who is that again? She's your cousin?
Yeah, she's my cousin.
She was in a lot of movies, huh?
A lot of movies, very popular. I still can see it in the movies, the old-fashioned movies.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Well, she's older than me, about 2 years older than me. Mm-hmm.
Very cool.
There she is.
Wow. Right, it's a whole article on, isn't it, there's pictures of the family in there too, right?
Mm-hmm.
So amazing.
This is one. Let's see if I find the one. I'm looking. This one is it. That was my aunt, her mother, and her daddy, and her little son, and then she, Elsa Aguirre. She's an actress too, Alma Rosa Aguirre. She's an actress too, and these two are actors. And there's the sister, Hilda and Chuy. Chuy, with the name Jesus, is very popular name. Somebody Jesus, he's not, but the Jesus is they call it Chuy. So he was my age, so I play more with him than with them. He was older than me.
Great.
That was her son too.
Mm-hmm.
But she lost her son, so.
Mm. Yeah, I like the main.
See, this one I make it. And this was I painted. I painted that once. And there was another one like that somewhere.
That you made?
Yeah.
Oh, that's beautiful.
That might not be the one she wanted.
There was another one. There's so many I can find.
And what about the manger scene? Where are those pieces from? It's a beautiful tree.
Hey, Grandma.
I used to have something I bring from Spain,
Grandma.
and year by year they got broken. I don't think I have any left. But by years, you know, every year I got something new, but I have enough now. I don't get anything new.
You have enough ornaments?
Yeah.
It looks pretty full.
She always does such a good job.
And yeah, where are these pieces from?
Takes
From
her so
the.
long to do it.
I have more like that. I
We
painted.
used to keep the Christmas tree up
It
in the attic.
was all cute.
Mm-hmm.
That was a chore. She
There was
used to get
another
up there in
one
that
I
attic. She
really
hadn't been up there in
pretty
years.
well.
I asked her what's up there, and she said, I don't know.
And
There's a lot of styrofoam.
Where's the angel from?
Insulation foam up there.
oh, I got it here in some store.
Yeah.
But this one I painted. I put all the color in. There was another one.
Back in the day.
And this one there was on Memes.
Put
You
that
know,
board up
Mabel
over the
Boone.
attic fan up there, see it?
Uncle's Monsignor Lafferty's sister.
Uh huh.
Put it
She
up
gave
there
me
herself.
that one. I think she make
Back
it.
in the day,
Oh wow.
So I don't.
she helped paint the house.
I remember her painting.
Grandma, whatever the
This one used to have music, but I don't work anymore.
Oh,
Look, Haley.
it's beautiful.
Michael gave me that angels. He has a good taste. My grandson.
Oh yeah.
These angels, I love it.
Haley said that she's not the oldest in the family, her generation. She said Alyssa is.
There's Debbie out there sweeping.
How old is
Stephen is
Alyssa?
carrying the dolly. Looks like a real baby.
You're right.
Steven's got a baby.
Oh.
Carry it around, yeah. It's nice, thank you. Because I have so many CDs and I don't know what to say.
When I get home,
Here, guys. Here, guys. That's right. Don't touch those.
Well, this one says. This will, you push it 2 times, it'll repeat the CD. It'll play the CD over and over.
Okay.
Good deal.
Oh, yeah.